Today, it's you, it's me, and it's a review of the Pacsafe V16 anti-theft all-around backpack. And speaking of full, this bag is full of anti-theft features. And in this review, we're going to take a look at them. We're gonna pack the bag out. We're gonna talk about the honest pros and the cons from my experience of reviewing over 500 of the world's best bags, slings, and suitcases. And if you're not quite sold, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, where I'll make some alternative suggestions for bags that might better suit your needs. Because here at Nomads Nation, our goal isn't to sell you this bag, our goal is to help you find the best bag for your style, you know, because everyone's needs are different. There's a lot of options in the market. But first up, let's talk about this guy. Let's talk about the gist of the Pacsafe V 16-liter anti-theft all-around backpack. Because I have to admit, I love Pacsafe. And the reason I love them is they know who they are. They're not like the sexiest brand. They're not the most modern brand. They're like, dude, it's all in the name. Pacsafe. And they focus relentlessly on anti-theft features that give you a safer EDC and travel experience. Some of the top features on this bag being a vault-like lock at the top of the bag, a front compartment with a bunch of organization, including an RFID-safe pocket, or should I say RFID-safe pocket. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the next section. A pretty minimalist main compartment, and a back with a whole bunch of stuff going on, including a luggage pass-through holder, secret zippered pocket here, slash-proof straps, and another lock right here, which gives you the ability to secure your Pacsafe bag to inanimate objects, or animate objects. Is that the opposite of inanimate? I'll show you how that works in just a sec. The 16-liter version of this bag currently comes in two color options, black and blue. 16 liters is a really good size for EDC, assuming you're not carrying a bunch of stuff. And actually, this would make for a great day bag when you're traveling to a new destination. For me, like, this is as big as I'd want to go. I don't carry a bunch of stuff with me when I'm seeing new sites. You want to stay under the radar. You don't want to be like prone to theft, right? Like, you don't want like a thief to be like, oh my God, that's a tourist. And they got a big old backpack with a bunch of juicy stuff in there. Less stuff, in my opinion, equals less likely to get with. The bag has a height of 16 inches, a width of around 11 inches, and a fully packed out base depth of just under 5 inches. Now, due to their anti-theft features, Pacsafe bags are slightly on the heavier side. Not terrible to be honest. 16-liter bag, 1.8 pounds. That is a ratio I can definitely live with. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out this bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Pacsafe bags are covered by a 5-year warranty against manufacturing defects. And for all that, the 16-liter runs around 170 USD. And if at any point during this review, you're thinking about finding out more information or making a purchase, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the Pacsafe V16L anti-theft all-around backpack. Now, first up is the aesthetic, and I think Pacsafe nailed it here. They're like, dude, we're not trying to make the sexiest bag in the world. And there's a good reason for that, because sexy bags attract attention. Pacsafe's whole MO is security. And to do that, you want a classic bag with a classic silhouette that can just fly under the radar. And we have a material that also flies under the radar without sacrificing durability. This is a post-consumer recycled PET. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's a nylon or a polyester. Both fabrics are ideal for backpacks. Polyester, a little bit less abrasion resistant, a bit more water resistant. Nylon, a bit less water resistant, a bit more abrasion resistant, but both are fine. And one thing to note is that, as I mentioned, this fabric is recycled. And one of Pacsafe's big things is not just protection for you, but protection for the planet as well. So they use a lot of recycled fabrics, they're carbon neutral, all that good stuff. But one other really important thing to note about this fabric is that it is slash proof. Or shall I reiterate what they say on their website, is that it's a slash guard. There's a built-in stainless steel wire mesh, which means that a knife can still cut through the fabric, but it won't cut through the wired mesh. Now, we took a very sharp knife during our review of the 26-liter version of this bag and actually cut it open. And as you can see, like I said, the knife cuts right through the nylon, but there is that wired mesh to kind of give you a little bit of extra support. We're not gonna use a knife on this bad boy because we cannot destroy every beautiful bag that Pacsafe sends us. That's what our media manager, Margaret, says at least. Fine, you're safe, little guy. But if you wanna see us rip open the 26-liter version, we'll link to the video at the top, so be sure to check that out. Branding, also super subtle, kind of dorky. Well, if it's dorky, you're less likely to get thefted, right? So I think it's all intentional. And then on the front, we have this admin compartment right here. In this pocket, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lining pockets. a zippered mesh pocket right here, and then a bunch of depth at the bottom as the pocket goes all the way down here. This pocket is pretty quick, easy, flappable opening access, and some gussets as well, which I'm not crazy about the gussets. I think gussets can work in certain scenarios. I think it kind of gives it a bit more visibility, but kind of limits things a bit. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments below. Fan of these gussets in this compartment, wish they weren't here. You can always, chop them out yourself. Yeah, but I wanna hear what you think. Let me know your thoughts on the gussets below. Let's pack it out. Now for a front admin compartment, you're gonna wanna put things in there that you want quicker access to. We'll throw the pen in the pen sleeve, wallet right behind it. Oh, actually no, we'll do something else to the wallet. I'll explain why in just a second. So we'll do tissues in this lining pocket. I'm gonna put some gum in here. The zippered pocket could be a good spot for your sunglasses. There's also a key leash in here as well, keeping your keys extra secure. If you have nice sunglasses, I recommend putting them in a case before putting them in here, because this mesh is not super nice. Could end up scratching your glasses, but that's why I buy $5 glasses on Amazon, because I don't care if they get scratched, because I lose them all the time. And then for the space at the bottom, you can go ahead and put a book down there, maybe some bulky headphones. As you can see, this compartment does have some decent capacity. But let's talk about this guy, the RFID blocking compartment. Now, RFID is technology as to where your credit card uses RFID, and if somebody wants to steal your credit card information or passport information, they can get technically a little radar or an app on their phone and just kind of beep, take what they need. So RFID blocking sounds all cool because you're like, dude, I want to protect my credit card and passport from those cyber thieves and all their shenanigans. But the thing about an RFID sleeve like this is that it's controversial as to actually how protective it is. Because look, we've got holes, we've got stitching seams, so those micro RFID rays, I've been told by industry professionals, literally backpack makers in Vietnam and China, that all the RFID rays are shooting out of there, and something like this is actually doing nothing to protect your credit card and passport from potentially getting jacked. Again, not a pro in this. If you got any insider information on RFID protection, let me know in the comments below. But I think if you're super concerned with protecting your RFID tech stuff, it's always best to get a laser sealed wallet or sleeve, put your stuff in there, and then put it in the RFID sleeve, double wrapped, best of all worlds. Again, if you have any input though, or thoughts on RFID protection, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's about it for the front. Let's now talk about the middle of the Pacsafe V16 anti-theft all-around backpack. Now on the bottom of the bag, notice it's not flat, so this is not going to be a great self-standing bag, but if packed out correctly, it, as you can see, can, but it's not something I would really depend on with this bag, but it does get the job done. Now notice on either side we have a couple water bottle holders. These are pretty basic water bottle holders. You can see that they have an elastic mesh right there to give them a bit of expansion. And we're gonna test out how big of water bottles they can fit in just a second when the bag is fully packed out. Speaking of which, let's get into the main compartment, which requires us to talk about this, the locking mechanism, which Pacsafe refers to as a Rubar sports locking system. And in essence, you have this little slider, and to explain, you have this little slider right here, which you can lock, and the zippers also can clip into each other. So you clip, you slip, you clip again, you lock, and then you can see that no one's getting in there, right? I mean, actually in theory, you can get in there. You just gotta unlock and then slide that out and the zippers are free. Remember, if a thief is extremely committed to getting into this bag, they will. But these are all theft deterrent features, just to buy you a little bit extra peace of mind and a little bit extra time in case someone's getting a little shisty with your stuff. Overall, I think this is one of the best features of this bag, but keep in mind, anything that's super theft resistant, if it's hard for a thief to get into, it's gonna be hard for you to get into. So this whole system is finicky, it's kind of annoying, it's slidey, it's not a fun time. But again, security comes with a compromise. So if you are in a location where pickpocketing is just a little bit more prevalent, this is gonna give you a ton of peace of mind. In the main compartment, we don't get full clamshell style opening, we just get this little half guy. Now, as this main compartment is packed out, it's going to compromise how you can actually open it. I got a book in there right now, so it's definitely restricting access. Notice in the main compartment, we have a laptop sleeve, a zippered mesh pocket right here, and that's it, let's pack it out. Starting with the tech sleeve, I've got a cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Let's see if this fits. I don't think it will. I'd be astonished if it does. Nope, not gonna happen. Bye-bye, cut out of 16-inch MacBook Pro. So instead we'll test my 13-inch MacBook Pro, which does fit very nicely. This laptop sleeve has a microfiber lining right here, which has anti-scratch properties. It's a nice soft material, makes your laptop feel safe and at home. And then at the bottom, we got a little bit of padding, but there's no real false bottom going on here, which means that this is not gonna be the most protective bag in terms of like tech protection. Because if you drop your bag, the laptop is kind of hitting the bottom. I guess there's some padding there. It's not the worst that I reviewed, not the best. But since you can see if you are using a 13-inch, there's a bit of extra room to play with. So you can, in theory, put your laptop in a sleeve, double wrap it, extra safe. Main compartment, I'm gonna throw my phone in this zippered mesh pocket right there. And you can see, you know, this is 16 liters. It's not a big bag. This is not for the super big gear hauler. This is gonna fit, you know, your daily stuff that you're either bringing to work or that you're waltzing around a new city in. So I got an umbrella, I got a journal, my headphones, I took them out of the front. We can put them in the main compartment now. We'll see if I can put a hoodie in there as well. Yep, and that's gonna be about it. It's kind of self-standing, a bit better than I thought it would. One last point about this main compartment is you can see right here that there's a flap covering the zipper. Pros and cons with this. Pro, extra weather resistance, right? In case rain comes down, these zippers can only withstand so much moisture. So this gives you a bit of extra weather protection. And I assume in some capacity, theft protection, right? It's just like out of sight, out of mind, a little bit extra security there. But on the flip side, when you're trying to open this compartment, this flap can have a tendency to get stuck on the zippers sometimes. You can see it's actually pretty smooth right now, but I reviewed a lot of bags that have this feature, so it can happen, and it can be quite annoying. Water bottle check. I got a 1 liter Yeti, and there's no way this one's gonna fit. Nope. So girthy water bottles, not gonna happen with this bag. But my 24-ounce Columbia should be a nice fit. Yep, a little tight, not gonna lie. These are very, very small water bottle holders, like very small. But you can see it's in there, it does work. Couple last notes in the middle. Got a top panel. Really love the webbing that they're using here. This is basically the same fabric that you'll find on a seatbelt. Very silky, very smooth. And on either side, you got some external lash points. So you can clip things onto the bag externally if you so wish. And real fast, if you're watching this review and you're like, wow, we're going into some serious detail right now, and I'm smitten and fascinated, and I want to go into more detail. How do I do that? Well, I gotta tell you, if that's the case, then here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, I kind of take our whole ethos of like reviewing the best travel and EDC gear, and I take it to the next level, where it's more like a breaking news resource where you get to know all the newest drops, all the limited edition collabs, all the industry gossip, just kind of like really honing in on this industry in a way that really no other media brand is. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world of EDC and travel gear, and also have access to our exclusive discount codes and giveaways, you're gonna want to sign up to the Nomads Nation email list, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. All right, let's talk about the back of the Pacsafe V16 liter anti-theft all-around backpack. First up, the back panel has some decent ventilation. You can see when the light hits it just right. You got all those circles. That's a ventilated material. It also has a bit of padding. That padding is gonna give you some nice comfort on your back and a bit of extra protection with your laptop as well. Luggage pass-through holder, love the orientation of this, because in theory, it allows you to carry your bag upright with your suitcase. Now it looks like it might be a little bit tight, but I think it'll get the job done. Oh yeah, that's nice. Really solid reinforced stitching on either side. I do think this will be a great travel companion with a suitcase. It's a nice size. So this is your personal item, pop underneath the seat in front of you. That's also used as your day pack when you get to your destination. And I'm not gonna lie, like the older I get, the more I kind of get safety features. Like if I was going to Brazil, no offense to Brazil, they just have a little bit of reputation for thievery and things happening. And like if I was going to Brazil, leave this at the hotel, this is my day bag, just use a little bit of extra protection, I'd have a bit of extra peace of mind. I get it, guys. I'm getting older. I understand where they're coming from with this. And another little hidden safety feature is this back zipper pocket right here, which I quite like because oftentimes you'll find these pockets on either side of the bag right here, but in theory, those are a bit more accessible, right? You could technically be on a train and a really crafty thief could just, maybe, I don't know. These guys are good. But when the entire zipper is placed against your back, it's much less likely for that to happen, making this an ideal spot for a passport, boarding pass, and or wallet when you're actually out and about with the bag. Shoulder straps, pretty comfy, decent padding to them, nice ventilation. Honestly, it's a 16 liter bag, so it's not gonna be overly packed out. I think the padding gets the job done for what it is. And then we have this slash-proof straps here. This is nylon webbing, and it's been infiltrated with Dyneema, which is like stronger than steel. And again, we are not going to take a knife to these in this review, but we did it in the other review, so you can go ahead and watch that. But believe me, these are slash proof as living hell. But keep in mind, the slash proofness of it means that they're a sturdier fabric. They're not as soft. They don't feel that great. With extra protection is always gonna come compromises. I can't emphasize that enough. At the bottom, we got some dangle stoppers, making this little guy happy. We've also got an included waist belt, which is just a basic nylon strap, which is unremovable. No, it is removable, but it's gonna be hard to get back on. This is a very interesting thing for me, but I think again, it's kind of in line with the ethos of Pacsafe, where if you don't want this pack getting stolen off your back, another point of connection can be here. So it's just another way to feel extra secure. Definitely not for quite being like a more comfortable carry, but I don't know, if you got any more insights on why this is on the bag, let me know in the comments below. I assume it's another anti-theft measure. And finally, one more star of the show that I also kind of get now is this locking mechanism at the bottom of the shoulder strap, which as you can see right here, you just unlock it, undo the contraption, slide the shoulder strap around a solid inanimate object, pop it back into place, and then your bag is secure because no one can cut through the shoulder strap or the webbing. They can, in theory, you know, undo the lock and push it in. It's actually kind of tedious to figure out how to use, which is a benefit. It's just one of those things where it's like, cool, I'm at a cafe, it's a little crowded. I don't want to put my bag on the coffee table because I'm working, so I'm put it on the ground, but like I don't want to just leave it on the ground, so you kind of pop it to the chair. Again, you know, these security features are not gonna be for everyone, but if you're still here, they're clearly for you. And that's why I like Pacsafe, is because they just know who they are, and they're just like, dude, this is what we do, and we do it really well. And just emphasizing on that comfort test, again, small backpack, guys, 16 liters. I'm 5'8", this thing is not huge, right? So you don't need the most padded shoulder straps. This gets the job done. A sternum strap I think would have been nice as well, but overall, comfortable bag. And if you want to hear anybody else's opinion on their experience with this bag, we definitely recommend asking the Nomads Nation subreddit. We got one of the best bag communities in the world there. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below or in the subreddit, and someone in the community will definitely help you out. All right, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons. The Pacsafe V16 anti-theft all-around backpack. Pro number one, insane theft-resistant features. Pro number two is it kind of self-stands pretty well. Pretty impressive, actually. And pro number three is if you are an advocate for sustainability, you'll be happy to know that Pacsafe uses a lot of recycled materials, eco-friendly practices, and everything in between. But on the flip side, some cons about this bag. Con number one is gonna be the safety features might be a little extra and overkill for some of y'all out there. Con number two is for a lot of people, I know this bag might end up being a little too small for either EDC or traveling. And con number three is the kind of lack of clarity in regards to RFID protection. But just a reminder, if you're still here, you're probably really into this bag, you're thinking about making a purchase. So if you wanna find out more information or you wanna make that purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description. That's where you can get the best price. And if we have any discount codes, which we often have, that's what they'll be. First up, if you're new to the channel, I recommend watching our leaderboard video. This is a great starting point if you want to kind of get an idea of not my favorite bags, but all the teammates here at Nomads Nation, so you can just get an idea of what the best options are from different people in different categories. But if you're not quite sold, I'm going to give you a couple of alternative recommendations for bags that might better suit your needs. Alternative number one is going to be the same bag, but the 26-liter version. This is the one that we cut up in a previous review. And it's just gonna be a great option for you if you're digging all the security features, but you're like, damn, it's a great bag, just not enough space. Don't know why I'm doing this, but it's just a bigger version, got all the same bells and whistles. And alternative number two is going to be the Black Ember Citadel. Great pick for you if you're like, dude, you know what? I want some security features, but this one's a bit too extra. Like, is there something that's like a little bit more refined? I think it's what Black Ember does really well. They make gorgeous bags, but they got some really cool like front zipper locking mechanisms that help to give you a little extra peace of mind. Plus their bags are insanely water resistant. They just kind of do their own thing with the whole protection angle. Honestly, there's so many amazing bags out there. Love this one, but if you're not quite sure and you want to learn more about the alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.